Submitting your app to the App Store can feel overwhelming, but this tutorial breaks everything down step by step. In this video, you will learn how to use App Store Connect, write the perfect title and description, and follow the essential submission guidelines. I will show you exactly how to publish your app or game to the App Store, even if it's your first time. By the end, you will understand screenshots, metadata, review rules, and you will feel confident submitting your app for review. Make sure to check out my Cyber Monday sale. Go ahead. The link is down in the description if you want to save big on SwiftUI products. Now today, we are going to talk about how you can submit an app to the App Store. In the previous episodes, if you're interested, go ahead and check out the second link in the description for the whole playlist. In the previous episodes, we talked about uploading to the App Store, like your code, and then testing it out through TestFlight. Today, we are going to teach you how you can actually submit for review on the App Store. So let's just go to the developer portal, so developer.apple.com, click on account, and of course, you do want to sign in. There we go. What we did previously is basically uploaded a build, a dummy build anyway. It's under App Store Connect apps, so let's click on there. And we just waited for TestFlight also to process it. Once that's done, you have a valid build available on App Store Connect. So let's just select upload to the App Store app. It's kind of a catchy name for this tutorial. And let's just go through how you can finally click on this add for review. On App Store, you have to have a team review it, and this is the way of doing it. It takes roughly around 2 to 3 days. It depends, of course, but you do need to submit for review. So this is what we are going to do as the last step, add for review. This button is going to be clicked. Okay, for 1 day only, you can unlock 22 premium SwiftUI products worth 8,000 plus for just $199. This is the ultimate all-in-one SwiftUI developer bundle. Components, courses, tools, templates, navigation system, clickers, animations, encryption, placeholders, and full access to SwiftUI Camp starting December the 3rd. Everything you need to build professional apps faster, cleaner, and with total confidence, all in one place. Whether you want to level up your dev skills, ship apps faster, or finally feel in control in SwiftUI, this Cyber Monday deal gives you everything advantage at the lowest price of the entire year. Only $199 today. The sale ends soon. Grab the link in the description. So it starts off with your version. Prepare for submission, this version. Let's just go through the list one by one. So previews and screenshots. If it's an iPhone app, you want to add in up to 3 app previews and up to 10 screenshots. Now, what I would recommend is that you take all of those 10 screenshots. Of course, make sure that the sizing is correct. You can click over here to just see all of the required sizing, and at least 1 app preview. You could just add more if it makes sense. Just have that video pop up as the first one on as your previews and screenshot. If your app is also available for iPad, then just add also the resources for the iPad, and same goes for Apple Watch. Okay, next up is this promotional text. Now, once you add for review and the review team will approve your version of the app, currently just the first one, of course, you will not be able to change anything, no description, no keywords, but this promotional text. So this is going to be editable. So keep in mind that you might want to change some stuff. Do it under the promotional text. Next up is the description. Again, every description and all of the other stuff can be changed only when you submit a new version of your app. Keywords. As you can see, there are 100 characters available. You add a comma, but for the next keyword, do not add a space. So you have those extra characters in there too. Support URL, marketing URL is optional, version 1.0 currently, but if you, like we did, in our build, if you know what we uploaded, we just set it to 1.0.1. Make sure that is the same. You will not have that many issues. The review team will say, oh, it's okay. But make sure that you're not going to have any bottlenecks over here. So version the same as you have it on your Xcode project. Copyright, you add a copyright right over here. By the way, the copyright symbol is option G. And, that's what you want to add in here. Writing app coverage files, if that is the case. App clip, iMessage app, if that is the case, you can just add it in there. We don't have those, so that's fine for our case. And then maybe one of the most important parts of preparing for adding for review is to add the build. So let's click on the plus, either on the add build button, and all of your builds that you uploaded will be populated right over here. We have only one, so we're just going to select it, click on done, and there we go. And as you can see, the app icon has automatically been fetched from that build that you have uploaded. That's why we needed to provide our app icon inside the Xcode project. Game Center, if that is available, and then app review information. Now, you do have to add in your contact information, that's fine, but there is this checkbox like sign in required and username and password. Now, some cases you do have username and password, maybe email and password, you could just add them over here. If you don't have sign-in requirements, then just uncheck this and that's fine. But if you have, let's say, sign in with Apple only, then just add in here dummy, and then inside the notes, explain. My app has only signed in with Apple, so that's a good note. Also, if your app has any specific needs or anything that you want to share with the review team, you should add it under the notes. And if that is the case, you can add also attachments. And finally, App Store version release. Now, the automatically selected one is the automatically release this version, which means once the review team approves your app, it will automatically be released on the App Store. Now, there are also two more manually release this version, which means after the review team has reviewed the app and say it's fine, then you will need to click on a button so it will be live on the App Store. And finally, we have this automatically release this version after app review, no earlier than, and then you just add in your date over there. Okay, before, of course, you want to click on save whenever and you add a new thing. But before we add for review, there are some other stuff we need to also consider. So let's take a look at the under general app information. So here is our title. You might want to change it, but it has to be unique. It must be not included on App Store Connect. So if a name is occupied, it's done. Of course, you might ask for it if you have copyright issues or something like that, but this name has to be unique and it should not be on the App Store. Furthermore, it should not be as prepared for submission app on other developers' App Store Connect account. So it has to be really unique. Subtitle, just add in your subtitle, and then under general information, there's bundle ID, SKU, Apple ID, all of that stuff. Most importantly, you want to choose your category, primary and secondary. So ASO would be much nicer. If the standard Apple's license agreement is not good for you, then you can just edit it. Of course, you do need to add in your age ratings. It depends on your app, of course. And then finally, you want to set upload your documentation if your app has encryption. Remember, in the previous episodes, we did not have any encryption. We just stated that in the test flight tab. So yeah, we're not going to upload anything right over here. Finally, if you just scroll down, you will see app-specific share secret, which is basically if you have subscriptions inside your app, you might want to use this. If you're having third-party provider for managing your subscriptions, you can manage it right over here. And then additional information, view on the App Store, edit user access. And you can also remove your app by clicking right over here. One last thing that you need to add before we actually submit is pricing and availability. Of course, if you have, then you just add in-app purchase and all of that stuff, but this is the minimum that we're going to cover today. Pricing scheduling, price schedule. So you just add in your pricing for all of the regions, and then app availability. By the way, pricing could be free, as you most probably know, and app availability worldwide, or you just select countries and regions that you want to this app to be available. And do you want this app to be available on the Mac App Store for Apple Silicon Macs? Leave it as checked. If so, Apple Vision Pro, leave it as checked. And then most probably you are just going to go for the app distribution method of public, not private. Apple Business Manager or Apple School Manager is required for a public. Okay, and that's it. Now you can just scroll all the way back, select your build right over here that you have, and then maybe just do a quick review and click on add for review. Now, of course, because this is just a dummy app, I don't want to waste the Apple review team's time. I'm not going to click on it, but actually this is the last thing that you need to do to submit your app for review on the App Store. And if you're interested, go ahead and check out my Cyber Monday sale, 24 hours only, 98% off. Go ahead and check out the first link in the description.